Welcome back, everybody. This is My Journey 4K. We are back in IMSA in the Dallara P217. Let's get into it. We're going to start the race today in P4. Strength of the field today is a 1903. We're coming into this race with an 1880 rating. Looks like we've got a decent start on the inside blocking though. Gonna be in an okay position on the inside for the next couple corners. I think we ought to be able to keep fourth here. Getting pushed out. Cars crashed ahead. A couple of GTP cars off to the side and into each other. That forced us to give up a position, it looks like. Ooh! LMP2 cars losing control behind and hitting the back of somebody. More cars crashing in the back. Looks like we're down to fifth at the moment. Cars battling up ahead, going side by side into these corners. One of them off track. And we back up to fourth position. A lot of things happening in lap one. We're staying up front and staying clean, it looks like that. See where we are when we get across the line. I'm not sure that we are in fourth still. We'll have to see. Several things happening. We're close to the GTP class. We are in fifth in our class currently. I was wrong about that earlier. Cars going side by side up ahead again. Really figuring that out coming out of turn one. We're currently in fifth, trying to run down fourth. We've got a little bit of a gap to the car behind now. It's starting to open up just a little bit more. Keeping right on fourth's tail. Not letting him get away too quickly. You can see the whole field there. Not far behind some GTP cars as well. I hope those don't become an issue. still a pretty tight field up front. Looks like maybe we made a small mistake that opened up the gap to the car in front a little bit more and the car behind caught a little bit too. So I think that was us being slow that lap. Hopefully we come back a little bit stronger this lap. You can see all the leaders in our class directly ahead. I don't see hypercars there. Hypercars are probably finally starting to create the gap. At least those slow ones in the back are. We've got a little bit of spread between the cars, but they're all about the same distance from each other. All of us kind of sitting about the same distance, it looks like, at least in the top 6 to 7. There are not many battles happening at the moment. We're going to start to run into traffic in a couple of minutes. Not yet though. Best lap times at the moment. I've got to figure out where I'm slow and start to correct that. car behind's getting a little anxious. They've closed the gap a little bit. We're a little over 10 minutes into the race. The pit window should be open at the end of this lap. Still 5th in our class right now. Started the race in 4th. Looks like 7th and 8th in our class going side by side into turn 1 behind us. Pretty sure we found a little bit of pace on that lap. Both us and the car behind started to catch the car in front a little bit, and you can see who is that 3rd and 2nd place are catching each other a little bit as well. Starting to close that gap there. We could be seeing some battles up ahead, which may advantage us. Give it a little bit of time here, see how it plays out, what happens. I start to see the GT3 traffic I was talking about earlier. Just a little more than a second to the car in front. Running through traffic now, currently 4th in our class. Somebody's probably made an early pit stop. Just a little more than 15 minutes into the race now. Big group of GT3 cars ahead. Trying to squeeze by some of these. Looks like that was 7th and this is 6th. A few more cars to go. You can see the LMP2 car in front of us, not too far ahead, but they've gained a little bit of time on us. Traffic gives and takes though, so some time, maybe it'll take it back for us. Running into some GT3 traffic again. Hypercars coming out of the pits. This is going to be an issue in a minute. Looks like we're catching and passing second place in the GT3 class now. So, not too far behind the car in front of us still. We're fourth in the class. Looks like we were able to get by the whole GT3 field before the hypercar caught us. I think the Cadillac will probably pass us here on the backstretch. GT3 traffic. Sometimes the most dangerous ones, actually, so watch out for them. We've got a hypercar in front of us at the moment. We may be slowing down the car up in front just a little bit. We're a couple seconds behind third place at the moment. Still in fourth, need to take our pit stop, and so do they. A lot of cars need to take their pit stop in our class. Looks like the Cadillac GTP did make it by the car in front. We've got a car, Porsche GTP, coming out of pits here. It's now. Let's see if they can pass and not slow us down. The GTP car made an alright pass in a decent spot. I don't think they slowed us down too much if they did at all. Cars in front seem to be grouping up though. You can see the third place LMP2 car there, the yellow one. We're trying to chase down. We've got another hypercar to catch and pass them as well. Hopefully that'll slow them down just a little bit. We're a few seconds back. Any mistakes on their part could really give us that opportunity for third. Less than 10 minutes remain. We're going to need to make our pit stop soon. It might be this time. Yes, it is. We're coming in not too far behind the yellow LMP2 car in front of us here. They did stop a few seconds just before us. We'll see how good our pit stop is. Maybe we can come out a little bit closer. We are out first. Coming out into traffic though, hypercars and GT3s coming up. Looks like we came into the pit second in our class. Not sure where we stand yet. We'll see what that updates when we cross the line. I didn't see too many LMP2 cars go by. I can see the one behind us still. GTP hypercar having a tough time keeping up and catching up to us there. Got a GT3 Porsche just ahead. We'll get by before the final turns here. Looks like we have been updated to third in our class. It now says fourth in our class. Just to the outside of us. Outlap 216 is about here. Third in our class currently. Getting run down by the car behind though at the moment. We did just lose a spot. Into fourth. That must have been a car that pitted early. Been on warm tires for a bit. I hope the car just slowed us down a little too much. We'll see if we can close that back up and get that back. Our tires might be in better condition. We'll see. Just a few tenths behind third place right now, currently in fourth. Looking to close that back up and get that spot back. Looks like they are technically rated higher than we are in this race. We expect them in 23rd and us in 24th. I think that's how that works. Less than 5 minutes remain in the race. A few tenths of the car in front in third place. We're flashing the lights, trying to get them to mess up. Just a little bit, give us that opportunity. right there, nose to tail now. Coming up on some GT3 traffic. We go by it all right. Still a few tenths behind third in our class. Looking to get that back now. I think we could. We've got some pace. It seems like it is. Stuck behind this Ferrari just a little bit. It's going to open up the gap to the car in front a little. Still less than a second. But we were within tenths. Not much time remaining in the race. Traffic does give and take though. It looks like it took a little bit more than back to a few tenths of the car in front in third place in the class. We're currently fourth. Closing that down quickly. GT3 cars just ahead. They're going to go to the outside. We're going to go to the inside. Squeezing that GT3 car in the middle. Front's going to get to the inside. The GT3 we barely did into turn one. Right there with third place. Nose to tail again. Traffic took it away and helped us get it back. We have a good chance for third place in our class. Just need to make this pass. They are blocking right now. We're going to take the normal racing line, hoping for the better exit here. Every little bit of traffic is going to matter right now. A few tenths of a second, nose to tail with third place in our class. Flashing our lights, trying to scare them. You know we're here, they're blocking. Not much time remains in the race. I'm sure it actually expired, but we need to go one more lap, I think. Final lap here, nose to tail with third place, trying to get that position back. I think they pitted early. Came out behind us when they came out of the pits, but they were on slightly colder tires then. and had a GTP car, the Cadillac that's in front of us, getting in the way. They haven't really gone much further. Flashing our lights again at third. We know this is the last lap, a few tenths behind. Trying to get that position back. Some more traffic coming up. It could give us an opportunity here to get by. It's going to slow down third there. We might have a run on him here. The GT3 car just in front of us. We had to pull in behind to get by the GT3 efficiently. We're going to get a wide outside. Ooh, but it took a lot of curb coming off that. That would probably spell the end of that third place battle. Well, that's the end of that race. We started fourth, finished fourth. We went from an 1880, we gained 38 points. We're up to a 1918. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.